Welcome to solverfy.
Okay, so 28 has us finding the Boolean product of two matrices A and B here, where A is a 3x4 matrix and B is a 4x2 matrix. So we can already see then that our resulting matrix is going to be 3x2. And now the Boolean product is much like finding the product of a regular matrix, except instead of addition, maybe I'll put this over to the side. Instead of addition, we're going to be using the OR symbol, and instead of multiplication, we'll be replacing that by the AND operation, right? So, for example, as we take our product, this Boolean product here, we'll take the first row of A and the first column of B, and we'll take them element-wise, right? So we'll say 1, and instead of multiplying 1 and 1, we'll just use the AND. So we'll say 1 and 1. And then instead of adding the next two elements, we'll use the OR symbol. Okay? And so we move on to the next two elements. So then we say 0 and 0. And this, the 0 is there, so we have 0 and 0, or 0 and 1. Okay, or 1 and 1. Okay, but all we really need to fill in this matrix is for 1 and 1 to exist one time, right? Anything else that happens after that, we know it's going to be a 1. So in our final matrix, we know we can put a 1 in this first row, first column spot. And we can do the same then if we want to do a new row of A, but the same column of B. We would compare 0 and 1, well, that's going to be 0. 1 and 0, well, that's going to be 0. 0 and 1, that's going to be 0. And 1 and 1, okay, well, that's going to be 1, so we can put a 1 here. And we can do the same thing, same column. New row, these are all 1s, so we're going to get a 1 here and a 1 here. So 1 and 1 is 1. We can just go ahead and stop and move on to the next part. So we can start then again at the top with this first row, but moving on to our second column, where we'll get a 1 and a 0, a 0 and a 1, a 0 and a 1, and a 1 and a 0. So that we never reach that 1 and 1. So this 1 is going to be a 0. Moving on to the next row of A, second row, but staying in the second column of B, we'll first compare our 0 and 0, get 0, 1 and 1. Okay, so we have a 1 now, so we know that that's going to be a 1. And then the last row of A and the second column of B, first we compare 1 and 0. Well, that's 0, so we go on to or 1 and 1. Well, that's a 1. Then we can just stop there. And so this is going to be a resulting matrix.